Hey guys! Welcome to the 4 o'clock hour of CFX Live for Fansworld Part 2. What do you think of that cool little promo video? Pretty rad, right? There were just some clips in there of us when we were at different trade shows, like the San Diego Comic-Con.
That first clip is Slayer trying on our masks. Terry King.
Terry King, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a cool little video there. Some really good footage of when we were down in New Orleans in October with a really good friend of mine who is a fantastic photographer, doing some really epic shots for you guys down there, good marketing shots. And then I think we ended on Luchasaurus, right?
Yep.
In the ring.
AEW Luchasaurus. We do a custom mask for him.
Absolutely. The one he has right now is based on our Viper mask, but we're in talks to get him something really, really bitchin' pretty soon.
Hopefully we get him into a nice custom mask.
Absolutely. I know we were all like following along because we're all nerds here. We all watch wrestling and AEW and stuff like that. And so if you're caught up in AEW, I'm sure you saw the whole bit where they cut his horns off his old mask, and we knew it was coming, but it was still hard to watch. And then his wonderful debut with the Shadow, with his old mask, and his newer mask with the black horns that he has on there now. But yeah, we love Jurassic Express. We actually had seen Jungle Boy Jack Perry wrestle in the Bay Area right before he got on AEW. So it's been a wild ride between everything, between our small side of things where we knew people in independent wrestling circuits, and now with CFX and how the worlds are colliding. It's always fun when stuff like that happens. So you guys, back into the 4 o'clock hour here for Fansworld. This hour is really loose. It's near the end of the day. We've been hanging out with you guys all day. Thank you again for tuning in with us. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, or follow on all of our pages. That way you guys can get notified for when we do go live and more videos, in addition to when we do other sales and other fun contests and stuff like that.
And I share in a lot of groups, but if you guys have a favorite group that you think that will like this type of video, please share to those groups as well. The more viewers we get, the more we can invest into this show. And we would love to make this a big production and do a bunch of stuff. As you can see, we are doing a lot more pre-recorded stuff and trying to prepare some stuff for you. So I have some really funny stuff to show in one of the next live streams that we do. But
and so if you don't know, my name is Tabitha. Josh is right here. He floats in and out from behind the camera. We run the CFX Live things here at the shop. Josh is also our mask operations manager here at the shop, Mom for short. And I do all the trade show sales, social media, and marketing, and make the stuff look good.
So as mask operations manager, I am overall responsible for everything that comes out of the mask side of the shop. And so I on ideas, turning those into designs, turning those designs into sculpts, and then getting those sculpts made into actual masks. And then I also do quality control to make sure that my initial thoughts and ideas of what that mask should look like actually make its way out to you guys. It's an easy job because our artists here are so amazing that most of the time it's literally me just looking at the mask, putting my check mark on it, and sending it on its way to its new home.
Sorry, I happen to look down at my iPad and I see Brian Snyder is watching. Brian Snyder is watching. Like, I don't know if you're like having in and out issues, but it's telling me you're watching.
I only saw it the one time.
So thank you for watching.
Brian Snyder actually runs Midnight Mayhem Apparel, which we brought up last segment.
Yes.
They were the ones that did the really amazing female clown costume that Tabby wore on her Tessa Zombie photo shoot.
Yeah. I think we have, I have a small video clip of that. Maybe we could throw that in our clip for tomorrow.
Yeah, we can do that for tomorrow for sure.
But yeah, Midnight Mayhem Apparel, they specialize in clown costumes, and they make phenomenal costumes.
Really high quality. They're going to last you guys. You know, a lot of the stuff you get out there, you're lucky to make it through a week with it. This is stuff that's made for the wear and tear of, the haunt industry.
They have the haunters in mind when they create these costumes.
Hey, we got Mark Meir watching right now.
Mark! How you been, babe? I know we actually haven't met face to face yet. I know that's going to change, hopefully, this year. Nice to see you tuning in.
Yeah, Mark is one of our earliest customers. He's got some amazing masks. He's the one that has the Mass Effect masks that we had talked about, and he does the voices for Mass Effect.
He's the voice of Commander Shepard.
Yeah.
Mass Effect.
So awesome to have you on the stream, Mark. Hopefully you're enjoying it. We do have some new masks that we are going to be showing off. Not today. But yeah, please feel free to tune in tomorrow. I'm going to do a little sneak shot of one of our masks.
Super sneaky.
Yeah.
And your Baron Overbite is, I see it down in the paint shop. I saw it over last week, and I'm really excited that you're going to get the mask that you helped name. That's one of the fun things.
Yeah.
Mark Meir helped name Baron Overbite last year during Fansworld, so happy birthday, Baron Overbite, basically, and the official naming of that guy. How fun! It's been a full circle. That's crazy.
Yeah, and what's crazy? It's been a year. That's the weird thing, is that it feels like we just started doing this. Like literally, this just feels like an extension of the last Fansworld that we did. Like, oh, did we actually really stop? And then I think about it. It's like we're in a brand new studio. Yeah. We have brand new equipment. We're running this fancy software where I can overlay graphics and do all this cool stuff. We're pre-recording segments throughout the shop.
We're so prepared now, you guys. It's crazy.
We're sophisticated, as I say.
Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. If you tuned into our live stream starting with Fansworld last year, I know Jasmine is definitely one of those names, and there's quite a few of you as well. So thank you for tuning in with us and giving us a chance to entertain you as much as possible with all of the masks. And we know that given last year, the pandemic shut a lot of conventions and trade shows down, we were trying to find ways to still bring you that same trade show experience, even if you couldn't come see us.
And a little bit of it was selfish. We were missing you guys. We wanted to still be able to hang out and talk with you, and and kind of be a part of everything. It was that, what is it, FOMO, fear of missing out.
FOMO.
So it's like, all right, well, we'll put ourselves out there online and see if anyone will watch us.
And you guys like us enough, at least a little bit, for us to keep doing this a whole year later. So
I don't think they like us, but I think they like the masks a whole lot.
I'll call it the masks.
Yeah.
I'll just call it the masks, and maybe the puppies.
Probably the puppies. Probably the puppies have a little bit to do with it.
Ours is passed out.
Yeah. He finally reached his limit, and he's now sleeping and passed out.
So yeah, you guys, we're just going to kind of go over a few things that we talked about earlier today. This is a really loose hour on this one. We're going to be covering
go over the format in case we have anyone new that's watching that hasn't watched this before. Kind of go over how this all works.
You're just talking about specifically
Fansworld.
So Fansworld, sorry, I'm all over the place right now. Fansworld started for us to hold sales, but also mainly to try on masks for you guys. And also this Fansworld, we're doing it a little bit different because we're trying to cultivate certain days to be different things. So
basically where I was getting at is the format is we're live right now. We have all this stuff available. I have masks down at my feet. I have wardrobe over here. If you guys want to see anything, if you guys want me to put a mask on, try anything on, explain how things work, that's what we're here for. So that's why I step off the cameras. I'm actually looking at all the comments live as they come in. I try to feed Tabby what's going on. She has a separate feed right here.
But it's not always as up to date as hers.
Yeah, as complete. But yeah, so that's what we're here for. So we feed off of you guys. So you guys shoot questions, shoot comments out at us. Don't call us names. We don't like that. But
call him a name.
But yeah, so anyways, that's the format that we're working on right now. We're going to be on, we usually stay on anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the questions that you guys feed us.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's just Brian is watching. It's all I see. Not that I'm complaining. But yeah, guys, so earlier today, we just kind of walked through some basics of how to put your masks on and off, how to costume your masks, different things that you could use. Last hour, you guys watched a paint demo with Jen down there doing some detailed vein work on one of our boogeyman masks that we have.
And I realized that it's not a complete paint demo. Obviously, we didn't show you the finished mask. And that's because that mask still isn't finished right now. There were some more details, and the jaw was being glued into place. Or I'm sorry, not the jaw, but all the teeth. And it wasn't ready for me to finish filming before this started, and which is why you didn't see the finished one. But what I'll do is I'll try and snap some pictures and stuff of it, and maybe a short little video, and we'll include that on the next one to show you what the finished mask actually is.
Josh only filmed that on Wednesday.
No.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was right before.
It was
right before we started rolling with everything.
Exactly.
And then I had to real quickly just edit out the stuff that And you can still hear us talking. I think we were having a discussion about The Fifth Element and Luke Besson in the background, so you can hear me talking about Bruce Willis and certain aesthetics and stuff like that. That's just how it is in the shop. We're a bunch of nerds here. We love talking about our favorite movies and our favorite games and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So I got a question here. Byron Phillips, can I ask what your first mask was? Do you have a favorite movie mask, makeup? Okay, I'm going to step out of the room so I can actually show you our very first mask. Because we have an archive.
So I was going to say, if you're talking about CFX's first mask, Josh is going to go grab that. For Josh and I, our first masks were a little bit different. They were latex masks from way back when. My first silicone mask wasn't actually a CFX one. It was from Tom Devlin at 1313FX. But my first CFX mask was actually probably Typhoid Mary. We bought a collection of them when we opened our own haunted attraction in 2014. But I think my first silicone mask, aside from the half mask that we had, was probably technically Typhoid Mary. And so same thing, Josh's first masks were all latex.
Artemis or Typhoid Mary.
But his first silicone mask was version 1 of Yorick from CFX.
Yeah. I bought it back in 08, 09.
Yeah, so literally one of the first ones. So CFX's first mask is right here. You probably want to angle the camera down a little bit.
I'm going to go over to the camera. Give me a second.
Let me move this shard back over Schmear. This is pretty much literally version 1 of the imp. It's got 2007 right there on the back. I don't know if you can see that there. But yeah, and you can see just how thick.
So that was back when we still had.
This is still silicone.
So we still had our stamp on the outside of the mask for some crazy reason.
Some masks still have it on the outside.
Yeah, you see the bib is cut in a different manner. We learned that the more full bib is better for things. That would still expose things. The paint on this guy is he's definitely seen better days. And there's the new variant. All right, so version 1, version 4.
Yeah, the paint on this guy has definitely seen much better days, and we've obviously perfected that tattoo pattern. We perfected his coloring. This was before we were coloring the silicone.
Yeah, so you see
silicone, and we were just painting on top.
So at the time, Wes and Kenny were still learning a lot about how to work with the silicone, and they would just cast it in a dark gray color, thinking that it'd be easier to layer the lighter color paints on top of it. We've since learned, for the most part, it's exactly opposite that. We cast it in as light a color as possible, and then layer on the darker colors on top of it there. But we're at a kind of weird angle. I can't really lower my camera too much. Let's see if I can lower this guy a little bit, because it's kind of like a downward shot on him. Lift him up just so we can see him at a.
Raise him up.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so there's a version 1 imp versus the new version of it. He's much thicker. Yeah, he's so much thicker. I mean, that's like almost a half. Yeah, almost a half inch. Definitely more than a quarter inch. Versus the new ones, which are just as strong and you get just as much durability, but
it's
much
crazy. Like you put
much
that
thinner.
Side by side and you
And so,
can see.
Yeah, so
that's the exact same part of the mask too.
So the thinner the mask, the more movement you're going to get out of it. The better it's going to dissipate heat for you. Silicone, unlike latex, will actually absorb that heat and then dissipate it back out off the skin of the silicone. So they get warm, you're going to sweat, but they don't get as warm as, say, a latex mask that was just covering your head and you're breathing your hot, humid air into that.
With latex masks, I like to say you breathe into the mask. With silicone masks, you actually can breathe out of the mask because it does fit on your face. It comes to your face.
So that was the very the yellow imp, and so we did the yellow imp. I'm not sure exactly what the first sculpt was, but I know there's 3 of them that all came out at the same time. It was the imp, it was Belial, and it was Krusty, Krusty the zombie.
I believe the first silicone mask that Ken and Wes made
was the Hellpriest, or the Pinhead. Yeah, it was an actual Pinhead for the 13th Gate.
Yeah, because that's
haunted house out here in Baton Rouge.
CFX got its start. They were makeup artists down at the 13th Gate in Baton Rouge, and many years later, here we are. In the nuttiest nutshell that there is.
So yeah, so hopefully that answers that question for you.
And just to follow up, almost every movie that has a character, makeup, or otherwise some kind of creature always inspires us. And you know, same thing with video games and different books and D&D. You know, all of those things we draw a lot of inspiration from. And so, you know, we like taking bits and pieces from a lot of different places and creating our own original characters.
My favorite horror movie of all time is Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm a big fan of Freddy, so we have our Toasty, which is our variant of it.
Or Third Degree Bernie is actually another variation. He has more realistic burns, so kind of more like the newer one.
Yeah, but I don't like that.
Or Deadpool.
Yeah, well, that's true. Deadpool without a mask.
Sorry.
Deadpool's one of Tabby's favorites. Yeah, so that's kind of where we go from there. I'm a big fan of all the old 80s slasher movies. I'm a little bit more old school. So, you know, I like the big stalking type characters.
We just watched Jason X the other day.
I like aliens, you know, a lot of the alien stuff. A xenomorph to me is one of the scariest creatures out there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that's some of our inspiration. But Tabby and I, we watch everything that comes out.
Everything inspires us.
I know Brett, who is our general manager, is as big of a nerd as we are, and he's one of those guys that he can quote all the movies and say all the lines from the movies, and I'm not that person. Brett, so I always feel stupid because they'll say lines, and I'll be like, yeah, I know it's from a movie, but I have no idea.
My brain works in references, and Brett and I can just like go back and forth and just like talk in reference sentences. It's a bit ridiculous, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Patrick wants to know if we have an 8-man with the war paint. No, we don't have a one that's painted with the war paint on it right now. I think we have a chimp in here.
We do have, no, he's not in here. We do have one, I believe, coming through production. The war paint isn't a standard that we normally keep in stock, but we can absolutely have one made to order at any point in time.
Okay.
Lotus, we love you too. Thank you.
Yeah, Rolando, the difference is huge. Yeah, it's amazing. And the fit, so the main reason for changing a sculpt like that is so we can get a better core out of it. And the core is really all the difference in making a silicone mask. Latex, usually all you do is you'll do a slush mold, and you know, the latex goes in, and you don't finish the backside, and once it I guess latex, I'm so used to saying curing from silicone, but once the latex dries, you know, it shrinks a little bit, and that's kind of what you put on your face. With the silicone mask, they don't shrink at all, and so yeah, you have to have the proper size core to make sure that the mask will fit on most people's faces and allow you to get that movement with the eyebrows and the mouth and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's kind of that, and that's the reason why we've changed. And obviously, like you can see the quality of the sculpt is so much better. Yeah, we've all matured a little bit, and yeah, we're all a little bit better at what we do. And
Dennis, yeah, Jen, she's not the only one who does all the M circles, but she is the M circle queen for sure.
Yeah, so
we have a Nadia that we have as a standard paint job that's in yellow with the circles, and we call her Empress. That nickname is actually Jen's nickname. She is the Empress because she is so phenomenal at doing all of the imps. So that was kind of a nod at her when we did that paint scheme over there.
Yeah, and so
did you see Alexander Titanium making, hey, what's that mask sitting next to the Cthulhu over there?
Oh, yeah. I'll show you that.
Something that Josh has been kind of working on.
So that's one of my personal masks. It's not for sale. Doesn't mean it can't be.
Doesn't mean you can't order one like that.
But yeah, I'll pull him out in a second because I know you have a variant of him. But I'll just kind of show you what I did to this guy. And this is one of my little personal projects that I was just working on.
Absolutely.
But I'll grab him in just a second. Is there a mask that you really thought would sell great but kind of really didn't? The Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
We always talk about that. When we got okay, so let's go over like kind of some of the stuff. So with Marvel, we did a golem, right?
Yeah, so we did a sandstone golem like Ben Grimm's The Thing, and a set of gloves. Normally our stone gloves only have 4 fingers. We actually did it where he had 5 fingers. And we put it up on the website. It was like a mask of the month, and we shared it all over social media. And like, look, it's the thing. And Marvel was like, hey, cool, stop that.
The cease and desist order showed up, and we go, oh,
okay, well, hey, how about we start making masks that you approve of? And so, long story short, we were able to get several masks, basically the Marvel lineup approved through them, and we were able to go all through the sculpt process with them. They approved all the paint schemes. And then we released them, I believe it was 2015, I think was their first year.
Yeah, something like that,
at San Diego Comic-Con. And the reception was visually, wow, that's just awesome. But movement-wise...
Yeah, we were the talk of the convention with our masks. Like, literally, we had a line on both sides of the booth.
And we
probably
have a
about
10 by 10.
Yeah, we only have a 10 by 10. So we probably had 40 people on either side of the booth waiting to try on all these Marvel masks.
Kids included.
Yeah, all the kids, like, it's funny. Get me talking about it, and I'll talk about the torture that we did with these kids. So yeah, every kid that was 6 to 9 years old wanted to wear the Groot mask. The Groot mask weighed more than most of these kids did, and so they'd get it on their head, and it'd be here. Hold on, let me come over. They'd be like, oh, like you'd have to grab them and hold them steady,
and they weren't able to put the masks on themselves.
They didn't have the strength to open up a mask. Yeah, just pop them on the ground real quick. They didn't have the strength to open up the mask. And so, but they wanted to wear the mask. And like, the kids were crying, like, please, I just want to wear the mask. And I'm a sucker. And so, so we had a guy working with us at the time. His name was Travis. And I went to Travis, and we literally, did we have a mask? Grab a mask real quick.
I guess you can use...
I don't want to do Jeremiah.
No.
Here. We'll do 19.
Yeah.
All right. So
a kid was here.
No joke. We'd put the kid in between us, and we'd get over there, and we'd go like this. You grab it, and we would
open
stretch
up
the mask like
and
this,
and we would like stand up inside the mask,
and yeah, plop it onto their head, and would hold them so they wouldn't fall over. Mom and Dad would take pictures, and would pop it right back off and do the exact same thing.
Which is why we've created the rule at trade shows now that you must be able to put the masks on and take them off yourself. It was a great adventure. We didn't mind doing it, but it was much more work. Yeah, it was a whole lot more work than we really probably should have been doing. We were trying to cater to the kids knowing that lineup. But yeah, so the Marvel line, we definitely expected it to move a lot more than it did while we had it, and it didn't. And it was an expensive license to hold, like we kind of talked about last hour, so we let it go. And now all of you guys...
all you want are your Marvel masks.
The Marvel ones. So... and unfortunately, we cannot make those anymore. We did have to destroy the molds after our agreement.
Hey,
our license was over.
He's
trying to eat the tripod down here. Sorry, don't mind him. But yeah, so that's just one unfortunate. But you know, it comes to the territory. Sometimes you run those risks.
So yeah, I mean that's probably one of our biggest shocks, because again we thought we had gold, where it's just like, man, we're gonna just sell every mask that we could possibly make on that Marvel license. And yeah, it just didn't pan out that way. And then there's other masks that, you know, what was the one that we were just talking about? So, oh my goodness, I'm looking, hold on, I'm looking on the shelf. She doesn't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. What are you talking about? Was a surprise?
Oh, Teratoma. Oh. Teratoma. Just me. Teratoma is a really cool mask, but it's not one of the coolest masks that we've seen. I guess it's got a really cool, unique style, but people love that mask. And every time we take it to a trade show and put it on the shelf, whatever we have in stock sells.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of the opposite on that one.
Rolando was asking about a Wolfman mask. We have Lupus, who is our resident wolf. We do not have like the Wolfman from Universal. That was something we had talked about doing when we started that license. But since we no longer have the Universal license, obviously we're not doing that. However, sorry, you were going to say something.
Yeah, so the primary reason why we didn't do Wolfman from Universal is because the proper way to do it would be to fully hair that mask. That would put that mask price range at about the $1,200 to $1,300 mark.
To do it correctly.
Yeah, for it to be done correctly. And honestly,
we don't want to charge you guys.
Yeah, I don't like it when our masks go up over $1,000. To me, I mean, trust me, I get it. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Especially in a mask.
We were consumers before we came to work for the company, so we understand that sometimes that is a roadblock. And so we are always keeping that in mind when we're creating new masks and we're creating different styles and or we're doing different licenses.
And that this is where we get back to Universal being so picky. There was only one way to do it. We could not offer the mask without hair at a cheaper price. It would have to be all or nothing, and it just made it a very difficult decision for us. And with the way the Universal masks were selling, they sold at a good clip, but they didn't sell fast enough that it would be like, hey, this is totally worthwhile.
But that being said, we do have our lupus. We actually have 2 versions of him. We have version 1, which is a little bit more basic werewolf, kind of simple. Lupus version 2 is much more aggressive. They both come with or without hair. Obviously, hair work does incur cost there. But I know that doing another wolf or canine type character is in our future. We're not going to share that just yet.
Okay.
Now, Anthony,
Hey, we'll make you as sexy as you want to be. Let us know what we can do to make you even sexier. Our masks. The people that buy our masks run the gamut. People will buy realistic masks. They'll buy specialty cosplaying masks of their favorite character, or they'll just buy your general horror masks.
He was thinking of fluff and throwing it around. I was trying to figure out what he was doing there. And thank you so much. I'm glad that you feel that you have been completely satisfied with your masks and that you didn't feel anything was wasted, and that they were very comfortable.
Real quickly, go over our dermal synthetics again.
Oh, okay.
Or at least our dermal synthetics line, because it's not really its own separate thing anymore.
Yeah. So a couple years back, you guys, we had originally for the CFX lineup, we had a few older people. We had Geezer and we had Codger and Clarence, and just some general old guys that we have in our lineup. But we realized that there was a market for people who wanted natural human masks, not even for the Halloween costume or cosplay community, just regular people who have had
maybe they had a physical deformity or an injury,
medical problems. And so whether that was, like Josh was saying, a physical deformity, if they had been disfigured in some way, shape, or form, or if they had aggressive vitiligo, where it was, their skin was changing colors, we created what we call a dermal synthetics line, which was a very expansive line of more natural humans. They were
very detailed paint,
very detailed in sculpt, very detailed in paint, real humans. We made these for our customers who needed those in that regards. There was one gentleman who was severely burned and had not been able to go outside without fear of being gawked at or being stared at because of his disfigurement. He ordered one of our masks, and he said he went out to the mailbox to check the mail for the first time in years, and nobody stared at him. And so, it's those kind of feel-good stories that we like to hear from customers who wear our masks for other reasons than the Halloween haunt industry. And so while we do still have all of those characters, we've kind of just rolled dermal synthetics into our current lineup. And we do still do medical projects of other degrees. You saw some of the Secret Service members when we introduced them on Thursday. They work on a lot of the specialty NDA projects.
We're heavily involved in the medical side of things. And again, without talking about those projects. But so we do a whole lot more than just scary masks.
Yeah, we like scary stuff. Don't get me wrong. But we love those feel-good stories too. We always feel good about getting you guys a scary Halloween mask, and we love seeing the creature features and all that good stuff. But those heartwarming stories where somebody who's completely removed from this industry gets one of our products, and it's literally
it changes their life. Yeah.
It makes us know we're doing good. super sappy feel-good story kind of thing,
All right. I think we're pretty well caught. Anthony owns one of the dermal synthetics. One of the J masks. And so again, the dermal synthetics line, it's been rolled into our regular lineup.
Yeah.
But know that you can always call us and ask again for the price isn't the same anymore. The price is on par with all the rest of the masks. But you can call us and ask us for a super detailed paint job on our dermal synthetics line, and we could bring back that same level of realism. If you just order a standard human right now, it's not with that special paint job. It's just our standard paint job, which
detailed.
It's still very realistic. Detailed. It's got veining in it, capillaries, all that skin texture.
We go much heavier on the skin treatments and the things that we do to make the mask look even more real than we normally do.
They all get punched eyebrow. They're just done. the way they're supposed to be done, and we don't worry about the price and stuff as much at that point. Okay. Well, do you have something?
Lotus is saying, you know, 1,300 isn't bad at all for a hand punch detailing like that, especially for those who care about the artistry and skills which goes into such work. This is true. You know, it is an investment in a product, but it's a product that will last you a long time as long as you take proper care of it. And the care and maintenance on these guys is very minimal. You guys have heard us talk about that quite often. We showed you guys how to wash your silicone mask in a video yesterday. That is up on our YouTube page. You know, the rubber that we make the silicone masks out of has a shelf life of at least 20 years, if not longer, if you treat them well. And Josh has a mask that is going on, how old? 2008 was yours?
My York, yeah. Well, I think it was 09.
Okay.
To be honest. It was like the first year it came out. It was the first, whatever the first year the York Sculpt came out was the year I got it, because we got that and we got a toasty.
Yeah.
And I think it's smooth as well. Like they all came out. But yeah, and I wear it every year. Yeah. I think last year was the first year I didn't wear it, and that's just because it was 2020. Yeah. And we were dealing with all that kind of stuff.
So, I mean, as long as you take good care of the mask, it'll last you as long as you'll last, pretty much for the most part.
So, going back to Alexander Titanium, he had asked about what the mask was. This is our Isaac the Robot. This was a trash mask. I pulled this one out of the trash pile.
There is air bubbles and big pockets in the bib area, so it wasn't that part wasn't salvageable. But
yeah, so the whole bib area was all jacked up, and so I was bored one day, to be honest with you, and I love half masks, and we can do this with 90% of our masks that are in the catalog. Yes. Put this cut onto them, so that way you don't have the full bib. It doesn't really change the price of the mask, because when we make it, it's all there anyways, and then we actually have to cut it off. And we have to reinforce it. Yeah, there's actually more work.
Yeah, we have to reinforce it differently too to make sure that there's no issues with the jaw area.
But yeah, so this is my little personal Isaac, and it's just a little half mask. It's not complete. It doesn't have the lower jaw piece that we normally do. I fabbed it up the way I liked it. That way I had something to just quickly throw on and off if I was doing something. And again, I've always liked Isaac. There you go. Just. But yeah, so little half mask, and it's just an example of some of the things we do. Don't take my cuts and anything as an example. Like I said, this was
that's literally
a piece of trash, and I was practicing my painting. I needed to. There's some metallic paints and stuff in here, and I needed some practice doing that. So I always say I can't paint, but obviously, so I painted this guy. So it's not a standard color variant or anything like that. But yeah, that's the deal. Just kind of shows that we can customize anything that you want.
Yes.
Yeah, if you have an idea in your head, don't be afraid to throw it out there. But yeah, boom.
So basically, that is what we call no bib, bibless, which is the rest of that silicone that usually lays across your chest or across your back and your shoulder blades there. We can do face only, where it's just the front part of the face like Luchasaurus has, or we can do head only, which is more like this guy. And like Josh was saying, don't worry about this specifically. But I know we've done a Jack the Ripper like that.
I have a lupus. I have a version 1 lupus.
Version 1 lupus, where it's just cut either right at the jawline or right below. We can do it like where it's just around the neck.
Yeah, the idea is to get the cut so it follows right here underneath and follows your jawline just underneath to here. Yeah. And that way you have a natural neck, which you can, if your mask is colored, like for this guy, I would either wear a turtleneck or I'd paint my neck, silver. Yeah, neck gaiter. Or any, like one of the realistics, if it was a flesh tone one, they usually blend right in and you can't even tell that you're wearing it. These are applicable, like if you work in the middle of Texas and it's 90 degrees every single night, that bib will add a little bit of extra weight and could cause a little bit of extra heat buildup. Now you don't get the complete finished look of a bib mask, but it does make a very usable mask for your body environment. And
depending on your costume, you may not need all of that bib space. You may be wearing a costume where it does come up to your throat and or up your neck. So having that bib isn't actually beneficial to you in any way. So if you have something like that you need, let us know. We can absolutely do that.
But yeah, hopefully that answered, Alexander, hopefully you're still on the stream. Hopefully that answers your question. Anyone else out there? Yeah, that just kind of shows some of the capabilities. And basically that can be done on any of the masks that don't have a big neck buildup.
Yeah, pretty much. Looks like it's pretty basic over here in the comment section, you guys. Everybody's just watching. They just want to watch and talk. And Brian, yeah, practice does make perfect. Josh has been practicing a little bit here and there, and so one of these days he'll.
Don't worry, I'll never paint one of your guys' masks. I'm gonna leave that to
Jen's approval.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to the experts: Jen, Sarah, Brooke, Lindsay, and Jeff. Those are the real artists out there. I'm just a big faker. I can fill in a gap if they've missed something. But yeah, no, don't worry. I'm not a detail painter. That's not my job. But yeah, I do like to have fun. And I also do this stuff so that way I know as much as I can about every aspect of the mask. That way, if you guys have a question for me and we're out there on the trade show floor, I'm not going like, oh, hold on a second, let me call my artist. Or, hey, let me figure that out. I want to know the answer for you and be able to answer it for you immediately.
Absolutely. And Byron, anytime, that's what we're here for that insight to answer your questions. That's one of the many reasons why we do these CFX Lives, is that you do have pretty much an instant Q&A aspect here, so we can answer.
And once again, we're very real people. We understand that our minimum mask is like $575, and that this is going to be an investment, and you're not going to want to invest that type of money without knowing all you can about the product that you're going to receive. And and like with all the scam ads that are out there, with all that stuff, we wanted to be your real true source of knowledge on this stuff. And yeah, that's what we're here for. So not a problem. Josh has got some great words for us. Again, yeah, any customization that you may want. Anthony says he's fit his mask through hell. He's a pro hunter. That's what these masks are made for. Usually the worst thing that happens to the mask is...
Sorry.
Don't do that. Just let him... All right. Sorry. Tripping over cords and I'm getting ready. We have an attack dog going on right now. He's ready to get out of here. There we go. All right. Let's see here. So usually the worst case that happens is some paint wear and rub. If you do that, the mask can be repainted and touched up. If you do get a tear in your mask or anything like that, reach out to us. We can walk you through the repair process. We offer a repair kit, and we actually offer in-house repairs of your of any maker's mask here at CFX.
Okay, I got like a backpack over here.
Well, what we'll do right now, while we try and get the dog under control right here, I'm going to play a quick video of how to wash your silicone mask. Yeah. And then I'll do a quick video of Tabby actually doing a mask on and off demo real quick.
So
and we're going to take care of this crazy dog action going on. Hold on.
I'm glad you guys are entertained by him.
1 second.
Entertainment is dwindling in our... Hi everyone, Tabitha here with Composite Effects, and I'm going to show you how to wash your silicone mask. Just kidding. Here's how you really wash your silicone masks. Hi everybody, it's Tabitha with Composite Effects. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to wash your silicone mask. A lot of people ask us how to care for the masks and how to wash them if they get too dirty. In this video, I'm going to show you 2 different ways where you can clean out your masks or gloves or any other silicone product, as a matter of fact. I'm going to show you a method of how to do a quick clean with just some alcohol in a spray bottle, or how to do a deep clean for your masks if you're using them in a haunted house setting and they feel a little bit dirty, or you want to give them more of a deep clean after the end of the week and whatnot. So we are in an area of the shop with a sink, and we've got our mask here. We've got Hugo, and I'm going to show you how to give him a bath. All right, so here we go. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you one quick method of how to just give your mask a quick bath, a quick spritz, as it were. So if you're using your mask in a really easy setting, you're not building up a whole lot of sweat, you're not running around scaring people on a haunted house setting, if you're just using it for like photo shoots or cosplay appearances, or you just feel like lounging around the house in your mask, we're not going to judge, you can use alcohol in a spray bottle. Now, don't waste any of the good booze. Make sure you only use 91, 97, or 99% isopropyl alcohol, and you can give the mask a quick spritz on the outside if there's anything funky going on the outside, and then
make sure you spray the inside. For me, I just like to pull the mask all the way inside out. And spritz, 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 spritz. Spritz, spritz, spritz. Then you take a lint-free cloth, and with the alcohol, it will evaporate off the mask eventually, but you don't want any moisture to build up in the mask because mold can happen. So you can just give the mask a good wipe. Wipe, 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 wipe. Take the mask, flip it right side out. And give it another quick pat down. There we go. And that's a really quick way just to give your mask a quick spritz clean. If you're not doing a lot of things that are intensive or you're not building up a whole lot of sweat, that way you can just put the mask right back on the head form. The alcohol will actually help it slide back on the head form, no problem, and you're good to go. When it comes to your masks, and if your mask has hair, we don't recommend giving it a full bath just because of the nature of the hair itself. It could be real hair or it can be synthetic hair, and there is a possibility that once you wash the mask, the hair may not return back to its original condition. Eyebrows are a little bit of an exception to this rule because we can usually style those back, but if your mask has head hair, we recommend just doing the alcohol spritz clean method just because we don't want to run any risk of screwing up your wonderful hair jobs. All right, guys, so the second method I'm going to show you is how to give your mask a bath.
All right, guys, yeah, we just kind of cut that video just a smidge early for you guys. That way it's just...
We know we've played it for you guys once or twice.
We know we played that for you already before. We just wanted to kind of loop some of you guys back in who may not have seen that yet, and just kind of give the end of this live stream hour just a little bit more oomph. But if you would like to see the rest of that video, it is on our YouTube page. It is listed under How to Wash Your Silicone Mask. And it applies to everybody's silicone items for the most part. If you have our silicone mask, if you have a different company's silicone mask, or if you have any of our silicone guts and other little body parts, they can be washed similarly. Do we have any other questions before you want to maybe careen out of here today?
Let me just kind of so yeah, Lotus mentions that we do any maker's mask
Yeah.
repairs. Yeah, I mean we're friends with almost every other maker out there, so it's not like we're not familiar with their product. They do the same for us. It's not like we're the only ones that do that. But yeah, we'll repair anybody's mask for you if it's got a thing. Usually what we do is we'll have you send in pictures of the repair, and then we'll kind of go over what it's going to take to get that thing done.
Yeah, if you need something fixed, if you need it addressed, we always like to see pictures first. That way we can kind of gauge exactly what kind of work is going to need to be done. And once we get the mask in, if we happen to notice anything else that hadn't been covered, we will absolutely check those out for you too and let you know we found those.
All right, and we're going to switch back over to the other camera because I know the sound's a little bit low on that one.
Sorry! Okay, we're back. And we're back on this one, you guys.
All right, so we just had to, the dog messed some stuff up. We had to recover.
We had to rearrange some stuff. So I think real quick, right before we get out of here, if we don't have a whole lot of other questions, Josh, if you want to maybe pop up that code for the Fansworld sale. Now, please remember that the Fansworld sale is on made-to-order items only. And it is going through Thursday, the 18th at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, because that is our time zone. Make sure you use both of the codes to get your discounts. They will not be applied retroactively. So for the $50 off your mask or gloves, it's CFX Fan 21. To get the free UPS ground domestic shipping, it is CFX UPS. And of course, you will always get a head form with every mask ordered through here at the shop. And for this sale, we're giving you a really epic swag bag. CFX tote bag with a lanyard, a worm, and a sticker. And yeah, just, stuff to show off your CFX support and pride.
My phone has just totally shut down right now. I don't know what's going on with my phone.
Well,
so I can't see any of the comments.
If you guys have any other comments, I apologize that we can't see them for the moment. We will make sure we address any and all comments that we may have missed in our live streams tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow for our final day of Fansworld live streaming. Same time frames as today. We're going live at noon, at 2, and at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a few different things that we're going to be covering tomorrow. Let me see if I can give a little peek. So basically, stuff about how to use the masks. and that kind of stuff. You know, best practices for using your mask, tips and tricks for taking care of your mask, and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, and then we're going to be teasing a little bit more about Josh's class at Fear Expo. We're going to talk about where else you can see us at different conventions this year and all of that good stuff. And of course, try on masks for you, because what else would we be doing here if not helping you guys get these masks on your faces to a degree anyway. All right, anything else you want to add before
I don't have
any,
any,
you guys?
my phone died on me. I don't know what is going on. I can't see any comments, so I apologize. But go ahead, and if you do have any questions or anything like that, leave them in the comments. As soon as we recover from this, we will go ahead and look at them, and we will address everything at noon tomorrow on Sunday for our very next segment.
All right, you guys. So until tomorrow, we hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday, however many hours are left into it. And we will see you mañana.